used to love me like a sister. You used to hold me like a friend. We used to share a master bed. And we used to...
Hello and welcome to Conscious Talk, where me and Sis are going to be talking to you today about the chakras and how they align to the astrological system based off of the astrological system for today. So Sis, I will let you go ahead and start, because this is going to be a segment that she's going to take over for most of it, because I'm not abreast in the chakra system.
Okay, perfect. Grand Rising family, Grand Rising. First and foremost, I'm gonna put out there, this segment is on Let's Talk Attunement by looking at the current planetary alignment. So another thing, I created a ChatGPT bot where I incorporated all types of documents from books, PDFs of astrology and the chakra systems into this, built it. So, that the chat can give you actual profound information that's pertaining to the topic at hand. I will share that in the link below so you guys can have access, so you can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at, because I did that. Went inside, got all the planetary alignments, and I lined it up with the chakras just by looking at this. So we're going to go by the crown chakra, because it went from the crown to the root. And we all know our crown chakra is above our head. So the planets that actually activate the crown chakra based off the planetary alignments from what we're looking at. Sun in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius as well. And it's giving me exactly why, okay? So the effects that you'll probably be feeling is a awakening to your role as a future holder, system changer, ego, identity starts dissolving away. Me and Sis talk about this a lot, how changes are going to occur, stuff that no longer serves you starts to fall away. What did we say? Our spiritual beliefs may change, that there. So it's something that no longer serves because it wants to match your soul frequency, okay? Feeling ahead of your time or unrelated to the mainstream. So you'll basically be feeling that. It also mentioned that you have to ensure that you guys are having like some sound stimulation as far as getting off electronic devices, going outside and getting some sun, because some people have been using electronic devices a lot. So that can overstimulate all of this. So you want to make sure you have some silent meditation. Limited digital stimulation. That's what we're talking about. And that's it for
Since I do have a question. Is this for all the zodiac signs, or is everybody going to feel this?
So based off of here, and it also has for Aquarius and the sun sign, 23 degrees. Depending on what the degree is, you're definitely going to feel the effects more.
For Aquarius?
For those and those signs of Aquarius. Now, you know how we was talking about the degrees where it may not affect some people may feel it, some people may not. It's giving that same type of vibe for me when I'm reading this.
So what they're going to do is have to look for their Aquarius placements and then look for the degrees of it.
Yeah, basically. I'm gonna continue. Let's continue. Okay, so it went down to the third eye chakra. Now the planets that activate this is Mercury in Pisces, Neptune in Aries. Now get this, Mercury and Venus in Pisces softens the mind, while Neptune in Aries asks the intuition to act, not drift. So the effects you may be seeing: heightened intuition, dreams, symbolisms. I actually can say I've been, relating to some of this stuff too. So as I was reading this, I started to self-reflect on what I've been going through currently. And I was like, okay, that lines up. So since if any of this lines up with you, or if you had any experiences, please do share. I
will, but right now I'm thinking about where my planetary placements are.
And you got like a computer or something, you can pull it up, right, sis?
Well, I know where most of my personal planetary sits. So I'm listening to this, but I don't. My personal planets don't really have those planets right now.
Okay.
But that's why I was asking if our audience, if this would be based off of their planetary birth placements, and stuff like that, because it would make sense. They might not go through these things. You're feeling them.
Yeah.
What I've been feeling, and then with this, that's what I'm trying to understand is this based off of the planetary, or is this based off your zodiac?
Yeah, I definitely figured. Like we were saying in our past talks, how we were talking about the degrees and stuff like that. Based off how much closer or however the planet is towards the sun or each other, you're definitely going to feel the effects much more than others. If that makes sense, Eastar. But like some may not feel it, some may not all. It may be subtle. So I would say it really definitely depends on the person looking at their own birth chart.
So you said Neptune governs over which chakra system?
So right now it's talking about the third eye chakra.
Okay.
Aries. And basically Neptune and Aries is asking the intuition to act. So act on whatever it is that you want to do. Act on your goals. Act on your...
So Neptune won't be in Aries until the 17th or the 26th of this month.
Yeah.
So those are going to be the feelings that people are going to feel.
Yeah, and heightened intuition, dream symbolism, psychic sensitivity, and priestess also. Visions wants embodiment, not fantasy.
Okay, so Neptune governs the third eye, and then the last one you said governed the crown.
Yeah.
What planet?
So also, before we move back up, sis, Mercury in Pisces also would be with the third eye as well, with Neptune also.
Well, yeah, because Neptune governs Pisces, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
For the crown, it was the Sun in Aquarius and Pluto. Sun in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius. That's for the crown.
And Pluto governs which chakra?
This is the crown system.
Okay. But that would be Aquarius that governs the crown.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be one of the Aquarian place? I'm just trying to get an understanding. Wouldn't it be one of the Aquarius placements that governs the crown, or is it actual Pluto that governs the crown?
For the planetary alignments that's going on right now, these are the energies of those planets being in that sign. What we're going to be feeling and experiencing based off of the degree of one's birth chart.
Okay, so there's no actual planet that governs one chakra.
No, not.
Okay, so it has to be the planet with the zodiac.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
No, I'm trying to get clarity. That's why I told you this segment is yours.
No, I'm just making sure. But I do want everyone to ensure that you go out, make sure you get this information for yourself and understand it's not for yourself. Because like I had said earlier, and Sis did too, it's a lot of levels to a lot of this stuff. So you don't want to rush through this. You definitely want to take your time. So that's my...
And the way I see it is when I think about this energy centers, and I look at it as in a human design center, but everything is activated differently on a day-to-day basis, like Sis is talking about when it comes to where the planets move. But I can't find a strong source of planetary alignment, what the planets govern, because the planets are what activates the astrological system. So I was trying to figure out, is it the planets that activate the chakras? Because the chakras are a big system here in this world. Yeah. And I wanted to know if they were activated by planets or if they're activated by the astrological. If it's astrology, then I would see Saturn and, not even Saturn, Uranus activating the crown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, Sister, when you was talking about the different books and the understanding, because the book that you was sharing with me versus the one that I read, they had two different things too as well. And I have seen books where they do have certain planets aligned with the chakras, like Saturn would be the root chakra. But if the planets are moving around and you can feel the different energies, wouldn't each of them have access to activate the chakras in a way?
Yeah. I don't know. Then this has been a conversation me and you have had for a while. That's why I think this segment is good, because not only are we showing you all that we're learning, we're trying to understand different aspects as well. Sis loves chakras. I don't really deal with them unless it's energy centers in human design. And that's what I was trying to get. I know there's somebody out there who has this information. I just haven't gotten my hands on it.
And all we can do is continue to each one teach one. This is what I've learned. This is what I came across. These are questions that I have, because I can see like I said, I can see Saturn being the root and everything, but how does it work with the energies and all that stuff? You know, that's that whole thing is where I'm at.
And I've always known Mars is the root chakra.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's why I said there's nothing.
But then it's where we're learning from. We're learning from other people's perspectives as well. So maybe it's just different systems for us to interpret for ourselves.
And it probably would. They probably would change depending on the system. You're right.
Very much so. Very much so. But I can continue to go.
Yes, go for it.
Let's continue to go. For this one, Sister, we're going to growth. Mars in Aquarius. Moon moving Scorpio to Sagittarius. Mars in Aquarius electrifies the throat. This is its activist speech, code-breaking language, truth transmission. The moon's shift adds emotional release, philosophical clarity. That is for the throat chakra. And it says the effects: urges to speak what's been suppressed, teaching, writing, sharing truths. Emotional honesty becomes liberating. It also has the shadow as well, and it tells you what the shadow would look like in that aspect for you to look for in case, you feel like you need to, or in that sense. And it says speaking too abruptly, detachment from emotion. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it made me laugh. I kind of giggled on that. But it shows also as well for support, vocal toning, which is chanting, and then they got crystals, lapis lazuli, and mantras for you to say. So it's breaking it down in the actual chat box. The information as well as the effects, the shadows, and how you can help attune that chakra. So let's keep going. Okay, heart chakra. Planets activated. Venus in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer, and it has a retrograde for this one. This is the one of the strongest heart activations possible. Venus in Pisces opens unconditional love. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer heals emotional roots. The effects: deep empathy and compassion, old grief resurfacing for release, desire to nurture self and others. We also talked about this yesterday too, sis, in a way, when I was speaking on things that I had been going through. You had said that. You were like, oh, sis, this sounds like da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, I can definitely relate to that. So we wanted to share that with you also.
Okay.
For shadow, overgiving and emotional overwhelming. So make sure you're taking care of your health there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to share this link for you guys so y'all can read for yourself. Solar Plexus, it's got Saturn at 0 Aries degrees. Neptune in Aries indirectly encourage things. So
yes. So them energies are coming up. I do know Neptune and Saturn are both going into Aries, and I do know that Neptune and Saturn right now are at like 26, 20, almost 27 degrees Pisces right now. Now, what chakra are they governing?
This is the solar plexus right here.
Okay, the solar plexus. Okay, and I'm still a little lost because I'm trying to figure out if this is for everybody or if this is for, because the retrograde is over.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure out where this
where
it sits for me,
yeah,
or for anybody. Yeah,
yeah.
it's.
This is why I said.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's okay, sis. This is why I said when I share this, I want other people to, put in their own information and have an understanding and let it, break it down to where.
Okay, so it's based off of a person. They have to put their information in there
if they want a further breakdown. But right now, this is talking about the overall population right now in general. So.
And what dates are in there for this one?
So these sister, let me scroll up. So let's go back.
Is that the one you sent me?
No, the one I sent you was planets today. I said this.
Okay, yeah.
But it had like the old stuff on there. So
this is pretty accurate.
The planets today?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't tell because when I sent it to you, it had shared the old stuff, and I didn't know it needed to be updated. So
what I was looking at seemed pretty accurate, but I didn't know where they were different. Okay, so tell us about this one. What do you put in there? What are the dates for that?
Well, that's where I went, planets today. I went there first. And then also, sister, I'll be Googling this stuff too as well. Not just getting Google and be like looking for planetary alignments in there. I definitely use my chat box as well too. It's like
so I do like to use those, but for this segment I didn't use those because when I like accurate, I don't of that stuff in your chat bots and stuff, it's wavering. And it's not found
to where it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I built it so it doesn't do that. It took me a couple hours, but you gotta definitely build it where it won't do that. But I wanted to actually have us utilize planets today, but when I sent it to you, you had the wrong information. But you said it looked pretty.
It looks pretty accurate, yeah.
So
because planets, they don't. There's a few planets that move quickly, and I do know that. And like I said, once again, I'm not abreast on chakra systems. When I think about energy centers, I think about the human design. It's still based off of, these different systems like your I Ching, your chakras, your astrology and planets. But when you put it together, it puts them in a different situation. The chakras are lined, but the human design is not. You can kind of see where it's lined, but they're also all broken up. So when I think about that, I think about the human design.
Yeah.
And, and how that lights up for everybody else. But according to the human design, you're already lit where you need to be lit. And as things move, they light up in different areas. Like you could be, a headstrong person today, and tomorrow the planets and the sun sits in a different area, and for a while you might have an open mind frame. So
I was going to say that, because as soon as you said you can have an open clear headspace today and it could change tomorrow, and I was like, that could basically be based off the planets itself. And
it is. So that's why I said I do know that the crown chakra is ruled basically by Uranus, but it could also have some Saturn, which is structure, but I don't understand how it aligns with all the chakras either. So that's why I said I can't.
That's understandable. That's definitely understandable. But these are questions that I have as well.
Okay.
I like to study it. Now, I'm glad that we're doing this because this gets this out there, and someone else, like you said, can have this knowledge. Oh, look at this and read this book and check this out. So
let sis know about the chakras. I do human design. I'm good on the chakras. I've researched enough stuff to know where I kind of draw the line, not to discount anything, but to say, send that information to sis. Me, I do the astrology. I'm all about the planets. And that's why I wanted to know how they aligned with. But remember, I got that one book and I read and I was like, And it could just be because I do the human design, and that's why I was like, maybe you would know based off the chakras.
Yeah, that makes sense, sis. But I wanted to share with you also, as somebody who studied the chakras, even I have, some questions like
Oh,
that.
no, I understand. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like none of us know everything. And the minute you think you know everything is when you know nothing at all. We know nothing when it comes to this earth or this life.
Stuff changes every day. And like
well, what's supposed to be revealed will be revealed in its entirety, but then we have knowledge and then you have to go get the wisdom. So that's where I'm at with this. And so now this system that you're using with the time frame, did you put a time frame? Do you have a date in there?
Yeah, this is I'm trying to see where I think I picked it out. But I don't always it's in here.
Because this would definitely be something good that I can go in and kind of take a look at and see what
Makes sense. What's the time frame for these alignments? Okay. Here's the overview. So time frame, Sun in Aquarius, 7 to 10 days total. I think we already was talking about that now. Where are the dates?
So when you go into this system to pull it up, what does one have to do so that when people go in there, they know?
Okay, so when I send it, you can just basically be very specific when you type it into the chat box so they can fully understand what it is that you're asking. Just go in what is, let's say, what is planetary alignments for February 11th, 2026. And it'll start pulling up the planetary alignments for that actual rising, and it doesn't really matter what you're asking, as long as you're just very specific on what it is that you're asking, it'll answer your question.
Okay, so it's one of those things where you typed it in and said, what's the planetary alignment with the chakras?
I did. I typed it in there, and then I went in and I also had Google up as well. So I was copying and pasting stuff in there too, making it very, very specific so it can narrow it down. So here we go. Now, current and near term alignments, days and weeks. Sun in Aquarius, February 11th, February 18th, 2026. Scorpio and Sagittarius, this is the moon. You must have heard me. This is actually February 11th to February 12th, so that's like 2 days.
No, tomorrow's the 11th.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's going to be like for 2 days. That's what I'm saying. Mercury in Pisces, February 5th to February 28th. All of this is 2026. Venus in Pisces, February 3rd to March 8th. Mars in Aquarius, January 27th to March 2nd.
Right, and does it have the chakras up there?
Yes, it does. You want me to read all of those too, sis?
No. I'm just trying to get a good understanding of what aligns to what and how.
Okay.
So planets.
It has all of that in here, the details.
Okay.
I'll give the dates for you, but I can't read those if you would like. But it's what you're reading is basically what's on this thing here. It sounds good. I'm not trying to deter you, but those planets. No, not at all.
The planets that are in those areas along with is what you're saying. So the planet along with the astrological sign lights up different chakras. So if we were to move Pluto out of Aquarius and put something else there, would it line up a different chakra? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, let's do that then. Let's try this. Let's see. What we want to put Pluto in? Let's see. Pluto. Let's put Pluto in Pisces. recalibration for Pluto. And also coming up with other types of. So what this is just coming up with the crown and third eye. That's definitely certain. But it also shows other chakras that it also could affect as well, like the heart, the sacral, and the root.
Okay, so Pluto governs a couple different ones in different ways.
That's what it sounds like when it's moving in the sky. So this is why I was like asking, like, is it just they all have a certain govern the planets, or is it just the energies move around and stuff is what the chakras start to light up? So as you can see, since while we're reading, it seems like it doesn't really have like an actual set chakra that's being governed. They all access the energy some way, shape, or form using their own energy. However, someone else can see something different.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I like this stuff. I like this. Did you want me to continue with
Oh yes, please do.
Okay, because I'm gonna go back. That's the dates. Now, as I continue to like add to the chat box, they'll be able to see everything that I put in here. So wherever I left off at on this, you'll be able to see it. Let's go back. That was not mine. This is mine. I wasn't sure mine. Okay, so we left off and that's off on the solar plexus.
Yep. That's the last one I remember.
This is the old one. Let me go back. And I asked a lot of questions, y'all. I asked a lot of questions. Here we go. I've been in here studying since I asked a lot of questions. You're on the sacral chakra. Okay, so moon. So Scorpio going to Sagittarius, Venus and Pisces. Scorpio stirs deep emotional waters. Sagittarius frees them. Venus and Pisces add softness and artistic expression. So the effects that you'll feel is emotional purging followed by relief, creative surges, and sensual fluid energy. That's the overall effects. Like
yes, Venus also is love and beauty too. So yes.
Okay, so the last one here, sis star, would be Jupiter in Cancer. Remember, Jupiter in Cancer also was influencing another chakra, so keep that in mind also. Jupiter in Cancer, which that's in retrograde. Uranus in Taurus. Uranus shakes the ground. Jupiter retrograde asks you to redefine what home and security really means. Effects: old survival patterns surfacing, nervous system sensitivity, desire to ground in authenticity. So that would be the last of it. So it just broke down all 7 chakras as to what the planetary alignments would do with each chakra.
Okay.
So, like I said, guys, it also has on here the shadow aspect. So yes, you'll be feeling some effects, but also be aware of the shadow aspect. So these are perfect times to do some shadow work on self. So if you get a moment to read this and have a moment to self and start to understand what the shadow is, you can pinpoint a lot of things and be able to purge it out.
So, well, if their chakras are not aligned, then which side of this will they feel?
Ooh, that's a good one, sis. Mostly they will definitely feel the shadow aspect if they're not aligned. Say
okay.
Like for the root, the shadow, anxiety about stability, resistance to change. So if you're feeling anxiety, your stability is going to be unsecure. Your ground is not going to be solid. You're definitely going to be feeling that. So Yeah, it shares all of that and how to support nature grounding. You can use crystals, which is smoky quartz, and they got mantras on here to say for yourself, so it can help. So if you I also encourage, go out and get a nice rub down, get a massage, go get some Reiki work done. Go get that done too. That also might help as well.
Is it also possible that in order to get into the lighter side of it, you must travel through the shadow?
Most definitely.
So even if your chakras are aligned, you still get some of the shadow to go through it. Okay.
Most definitely. That's how you know you growing. That's how you see growth in yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I understand that, but like I said, I'm trying to understand the chakra alignment and how the planets affect them.
Yeah, so anybody that's already like strong in their shadow work system, of course, they're going to be able to pinpoint that, and it's not really going to be, I would say, effective, because they have that balance with themselves. Instead of resisting shadow, you become friends with shadow, understand shadow, and transmute that energy to however you see fit yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the same thing. I feel like once we shake hands with it, we still walk through it. We understand at that point that this is the shadow. How do I utilize it for my favor instead of for my demise? But most of us are taught to use the shadow and let it just tear us apart. And then we keep walking in cycles. I understand that.
Very much so. And I would say, for some of the stuff that I was doing, as far as shadow work, when something felt overwhelming, I would try to look at an opposite of what is the opposite of something that gave me anxiety, to find some sort of relief into that, so that I can create something beautiful. And that was how I was able to transmute some of my energy as well. I like to do my own energy work on self, which I also been doing that too, and that's definitely been helping. And I have so much earth in my chart system. When I go outside and I step in that grass and that sun be shining so good, it feels so good.
Yeah, any earth in your personal planets is going to give you the grounding that you need.
I can definitely feel the energy of the earth, like shooting up through my spine. And
very good.
It feels amazing how it makes you align yourself with chakras feel. So
yeah, I just when things come in my way, I just want to know, what do I need to know? How do I learn from this? Where's the wisdom in it, so that I can see the wisdom and understand and move on.
Most definitely, sister. So this is what I had far as the attunement, as the planetary alignments for the chakras this rising. So I, reached out on my chat box here and started tapping in some stuff and doing some understanding, reading all of this. It opens another Pandora box of questions. Now I have more questions where I can go back and do some more studying, because why not, sister? Why not? Continuing to understand this, I can only get better with this. So hopefully this helps out somebody else like it helps me. And let me know, I can also create this even further. If you guys got books that you want me to input in here, I could definitely input more books in here and grow the chat box so it can continue to be more of a modern base, but be able to give you some solid answers that's needed. So if you got any, sis, I could put it in here too.
I had a couple books, because when I first started my spiritual journey, of course, chakras, kundalini, all of that came up. But as I refined my understanding and definition for spirituality for myself, chakras just don't keep coming up.
You know what I'm saying? I got an astrology one too, as well. I got you got some astrology books I can put it in here too. And it'll also fine tune the chat box even further. So
okay, yeah.
And I can feed it in there.
Yeah, will do. So yeah, I just, for me, because astrology to me, and this is just my opinion as an entity here, is that astrology rules everything. And I try to see the handshake between the different understandings. But it coincides with everything that is on this planet, because why would it be as above, so below? So that's what I wanted to know, where these planets set and how they govern the chakras. I'm pretty sure if I do some deep work, I can find it, but that's a lot of books. And finding the things that are the similarities versus the things that are different, and say, okay, this makes sense here, this makes sense here, this makes sense here. I'm not in that journey right now, though.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. As far as myself, I can see how numerology, astrology, the chakras, I can see how all of them connect. And it really feels to me that part of my purpose is to not only understand it, but use it in a way of teaching other people to use it for themselves. And also incorporate it into like the candles that I'm making along the way as well, to help intensify that type of magic. So I can see it all. The planets are very colorful, and I love colors. So hey, the colors had to grab me through the chakras, and so it did. And I'm starting to understand it. Like I understand, but I need a more.
You made it click.
What's that?
I'm gonna go find out something, and then we'll discuss it later. Let me write it down.
Okay, that's good. See, I be running my mouth. Having little crown laws up here, because I really be sitting in thought, thinking of all this and stuff like that. The planets are very colorful, and I enjoy playing with the colors and understanding the colors. In order to understand the colors, to understand the planets. In order to understand the planets, understand astrology. What they say in the Wizard of Oz, follow the yellow brick road? Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did, and it led me here. It definitely led me here. But I love that sis got a crown law. I've never seen you write this long, sis.
Oh no, so I wasn't writing a lot. I was just sitting here trying to see if it makes sense as to, because like I said, in human design, it's the I Ching, the chakra systems, astrology, and zodiacs ran together, and those systems make up the human design. The difference is that the way the centers set is different. They don't sit in a line, they sit off-centered from each other. But you have people that are open-minded, and then you have people who are defined. And what I found a discrepancy with is that sometimes they say you want the definition, but sometimes the definition keeps you from understanding. So if we all came in with a defined head center, we get nowhere. Basically is what I'm saying. We would get nowhere, because the program would be strong, the conditioning would be strong, it would take hold, and it'd be hard to teach us something outside the box. But I have learned that as I look at the astrology of the personal planets and then the human design connected, I can see why people have where their head centers are defined and what coincides with that. But then I was thinking there would be a planet, but it could and it couldn't be. It may not be, or they might govern all of it, and just getting in alignment with self is what will align everything else. And so that's where my understanding is aligning to the planets and your thumbprint, because your blueprint is just the beginning of who you are, and then being able to see who you are, then you can navigate through it. So some of these aspects, and what I'm saying is basically, once you heal Chiron, you shouldn't have to keep going through that healing over and over and over again if there's a Chiron in your chart. If say you're in the dark side of your sun astrological side, once you understand the dark side, like we've said, then you see the light side. But when the planets move, you can offset that energy. So you don't have to go through the dark or the light of it. You can take that gray area in between. And then you have free realm of bringing in whatever it is that you want to bring in. We are the creator, but our blueprint is there. So that's all my questions were.
Yeah, that's all good, sis. That's all good. But I definitely like how you put all that together in a sense, how you put it all together, how you made it make sense, and how it actually, I started to make sense, and like, okay, this is actually starting to click a little bit. So I'm gonna go back and do some more research myself on something else as well, because I got a question for myself.
Of course.
Go study and gather together, because as I was going to ask, when it comes to the human design and you are looking at the actual picture, it's offset to each other. What if it's offset to each other for us to understand what's going on, but it's really actually aligned to one another? That was
talking about in human design.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So it could be, but I don't see it being feasible, because where I do see where a lot of the big centers, like the sacral center, but some people are not working on their sacral.
And some of them that are split, like that's the part I don't understand quite yet.
Split in what?
Like, you know how, I think it's the heart center or some other center where they split apart or something.
Oh, so the chakras are they're supposed to be another energy center. I don't want to call them a chakra, because in human design, they're energy centers.
Yes.
The energy centers is supposed to split again. They're supposed to be one that split. The heart center split. I don't remember how long ago. Dates and times are not my particular strong route, and I'm okay with that. But it's split into your identity and your will center. So you have a will center and your identity center. And but I see this to be true, because if I sit back and I analyze somebody's human design, you can see willpower, identity, especially if you know them, you work around them a lot. You can see if these things are lined up. But there is a time of year where some of those undefined become defined.
Oh, okay.
And some of your defined will become if you have some that are undefined during certain parts of the year, they'll light up. And then during other parts of the year, the ones that are opposites. You see what I'm saying? So there's a time where people's willpower, they might have come in on a blueprint where the willpower was undefined, and then there's a time in their life where it is defined, and you can feel these transitions. Some of them I don't like to feel being defined or undefined in me. But I see the positive and the negative of all of it. I like some of my stuff to be where it was, and I like to keep it there because it works for me.
Well, what if that's happening? It's just recalibration that's happening within.
So if I feel an energy I don't like, I get rid of it. This is not one that serves me. So I really just don't feel like I need to have to partake in it. So I like beneficial.
Yeah.
I do like to learn, so don't get me wrong. Pain and collapse and different things, they teach us something. But as well as knowing that if I make the right decisions in my own life without these energies projecting in on me, that I can have these different things. So if I feel something that they say, hey, such and such is moving into such and such, you're going to feel this, I'll tell myself, no, I'm not going to feel it. It's not going to affect me. I do. No, that's definitely going to affect me.
I can definitely see it, sister. I can definitely see it. Which is why when I was reading this why I was like saying, I don't think everyone will feel this. Some may not, and stuff like that. So it really depends. So I definitely recommend people putting in their birth chart and seeing it for themselves. Evaluate yourself, because that's what I did. Put my birth chart in, sat with it, evaluate myself from how I've been, from now to the last few risings. Okay, I resonate with that. Okay, that makes sense. I resonate with that. Somebody else may put it in there and be like, I don't resonate with none of this shit. And it's okay. And it's definitely okay. It's just not the planetary alignment for you.
Or just make sure that you're not resisting it because it's something that you don't want to see. I noticed that a lot of times people read something about themselves and they want to dismiss it because they don't want to see that part in themselves. No, that's not me. Yes, you're both parts. Yeah. If you're doing a me because you have an understanding in yourself where I don't really need to go through that because I've walked that path already, then I understand. But if you're doing it because you just don't want to accept who, that's a version of you, then maybe you're running from yourself still.
Ooh, that's a hard pill to swallow, sis. That's a hard pill to swallow for some. That's a hard pill to swallow for them. But it's a good point. It's definitely good.
Well, yeah, I mean,
sit with yourself on that.
Conditioning is still real strong. Conditioning, programming, all of that, we still have to break through it. So instead of beating yourself up for something that you see in it, sit and ask yourself, could this possibly, at any day and age, could this have possibly been me?
Very much so. And we do podcasts like this, guys, simply because we're two Aquariuses. We decode ourselves, and we're showing you the tools that's helping us to decode ourselves as well as those around us. We've already programmed ourselves, and we're no longer, not saying that we don't know what's going on in the world, but we know ourselves, and we're here. We're still learning, we're still growing, and we want to show you the same tools that we use in hopes that you do it for yourself. Stop with all the distractions and focus on you. Like sis said, don't resist. A lot of this stuff, a lot of people do resist in this part, because people are afraid to change. The change is good. It's not necessarily scary. Why do people be afraid to change? Why? What is it that people is afraid of that change would bring?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of things to be afraid of. I mean, and if you reach back before you got to this point here, you can tell yourself, okay, I understand. So that's where I am. I understand why people are afraid or what they fear and all of these things. If you want to see change outside of your life, you have to see change inside of your life. And to start there, it's on the inside. So this is another tool that you use to be able to start to pinpoint things. And I think what most of us are trying to do is just find a reason. Just find that one thing in your life that you don't like that's going in the opposite direction. Or, I mean, it took me to say, this is not what I thought my life was going to look like. One day I woke up and I was like, man, if I'd have known that this is what life was going to look like, maybe I would have stopped while I was ahead. But it starts with the questions. And if there's a question about your chakra systems and your planetary systems, then sis has something for you. Me, I'm going to tell you, I'm always going straight to the planets because I'm just one of those Aquarius that sit on, and I don't want to even say it's because I'm Aquarius, because that would just be me pulling out my ego at that point. What I do want to say is that when I want to find source, I want to find the source for me, yes. Not the source for the person next to me. Yes. The source for me. I want to get my enlightenment for me, my understanding for me, because my life is my own. And so I feel like I do believe in as above, so below. So I go to the above so that I can get what's here for me on the below. So.
Okay. In astrology, that's where you find the enlightenment. Very much so. Very much so. I'm that way with the chakras. The energy centers, the chakras, however you want to say it. I'm definitely like that. In my meditations, when you talk about as above, so below, having those visualization meditations where I can see my chakra spheres and stuff, I can see the as above, so below in that aspect. Even now, because I can visualize even when I'm awake. I can see it, and I definitely connect to that. So I can understand that feeling that you get when you talk about astrology. I could definitely feel that because it's like that for me with the chakras. Mm-hmm. Yes. Uranus led, Saturn led. I love it. Sis.
I got both, but I'm very much the epitome of both, but definitely take some time to find a sense of self. Chakra, whether it's chakra centers, if you want to go that route, whether it's astrology, if you want to go that route. There's so many tools out there that can help you find your sense of purpose and your place in this world. That why not define yourself past what we've been told that we are, meat flesh lockers that are here to work and harvested, if that's a thing, and all of these other situations that have been put on us. Put your own stuff on you and see how far you can go with this before your expiration date comes around.
And until then, family, find your life and then teach your crown family. Peace.
Thank you for coming to see us, and like, share, and subscribe.
We were disco